The pattern feature allows you to take an existing feature and duplicate it as a pattern. It is located in the Home tab Feature group. You are first prompted to select a feature to pattern. I'm going to pick two, this boss and the hole drilled in it. Next is the layout. There are several to choose from, and linear and circular are the ones you'll probably use most often. I'll leave it set to linear. The parameters below will depend on the layout you select. A linear pattern consists of two directions. For each direction, you'll define a number of features and a distance between them. With the Specify Vector selection step selected, I'll pick this edge to define the direction and then enter 4 for count and 15 for pitch distance. Activating Use Direction To allows you to define the second direction by picking this edge and entering 3 for count and 10 for pitch distance. For each direction, you can define the spacing as count and pitch or count and span. Pitch is the distance between each instance, while span is the distance between the first and last instance in the pattern. So, setting this to count and span, NX calculates the pitch for you. In this case, with the values of 4 and 45, the pitch is 15. Likewise, pitch and span, NX calculates the count. You'll likely only need to use the second two options when one of the values is not easy to calculate. I'll change it back to count and pitch. The symmetric option duplicates the pattern in the opposite direction, which wouldn't work in this case since it runs off the solid. Under the Pattern Settings pane, the Frame Only option creates only the outer instances of the pattern. Stagger creates every other instance by adding half the pitch to the first instance in the direction you select. I'll set Stagger back to none and complete the pattern, then display another part file to demonstrate a circular pattern. In this model, I'll pick the slot for the pattern, then set Layout to Circular. I'll select the Specify Vector step and pick the datum axis as the rotation axis. The Angular Direction pane contains parameters similar to that for a linear pattern. I'll set spacing to count and span and enter 12 for count and 360 for span. The Radiate pane contains a single option, Create Concentric Members, that adds additional parameters to add instances in a radial direction. I'll deactivate this and create the pattern.